All right. So, welcome to our Higher Education History Symposium. I'm Dr. Anthony Edwards, and I'm the instructor for Higher Ed History. And our first group is going to discuss the history of community colleges. All right, group, take it away.
All right, good evening. So, our expert topic was over the history of community colleges, and then the scholars were myself, Tiny Gray.
I'm Lindsay Vanek.
Sorry, I'm Charles.
All right, we're going to, and these are our table of contents as follow, and then we're going to kick it to Lindsay as she does the introduction.
Okay, good evening, everyone. As you can see on the screen, community colleges have had a rich history and amazing current position that has a vast array of items to report on. And this presentation will address the history, current status, and future status of the community colleges in the United States. We will do this through our research, interviews, webinars, and best practice examples.
Then we give it to Charles for our literature review.
Hi. So I'm going to give you a summary of our literature review, which is part of our paper. The literature on community colleges underscores their critical role in expanding educational access, particularly for underserved populations, while addressing regional workforce needs. Early studies, such as Cohen Kisker's The Shape of American Higher Education, highlight the historical evolution of community colleges as institutions created to democratize higher education by offering affordable pathways to vocational training and academic degrees. This democratization was especially significant in the 20th century, with community colleges serving as bridges between secondary education and four-year institutions. The missions have consistently reflected societal needs, from addressing workforce gaps during the industrial era to supporting non-traditional learners in the modern age. Next slide, please. Another prominent theme in the literature is the adaptability of community colleges in responding to demographic and economic changes. Vaughn's The Community of College Story emphasizes the institution's focus on local partnerships and workforce alignment, ensuring their curricula remains relevant to regional industries. Daughtry and Townsend extend this analysis by examining how community colleges balance academic and vocational training missions, often prioritizing partnerships with businesses to meet the evolving demands of local economies. This flexibility has allowed community colleges to remain pivotal in regional economic development, particularly as technology and globalization redefine labor markets. Next slide, please. Current research also examines the innovative role of community colleges in fostering inclusivity and economic mobility. The League of Innovation in the Community College and related studies stress the community colleges are uniquely positioned to address the needs of diverse students populations, including first-generation rural and non-traditional learners. By offering flexible learning modalities such as online and hybrid courses, community colleges continue to adapt to changing student expectations. This adaptability, combined with their commitment to affordability and accessibility, reinforces their enduring relevance in higher education and their role in reducing educational inequities. Next slide, please. Okay. I'm also doing the observation insights for our paper. Let me catch my breath for a second, excuse me. Community colleges have played a vital role in American higher education, particularly in providing accessible learning opportunities and workforce development for diverse populations. The histories of Hill College, McLennan Community College, better known as MCC, and Weatherford College exemplify this role and highlight significant trends in the evolution of community colleges in Texas. Hill College, established in 1923, emerged to serve the educational needs of rural Hill County, focusing on affordability and workforce training through specialized programs like automotive technology. Similarly, MCC, founded in 1965, grew out of the post-World War II expansion of higher education and has developed a reputation for adapting to technological changes, and local industry demands. Next slide, please. Weatherford College, founded in 1869, stands out as the oldest continuing public community college west of the Mississippi River. Its history reflects the resilience of early community colleges overcoming financial struggles, and embracing partnerships to expand its reach across multiple counties. Each institution reflects broader national trends, such as the growing importance of workforce alignment, partnerships with local industries, and the provision of the affordable education for underrepresented students. By meeting regional needs, these colleges have contributed significantly to local economic development and the preparation for students for academic and vocational success. Next slide, please. The broader narrative of community colleges, as illustrated by these institutions, emphasizes their adaptability to societal, technological, and economic changes. Historically, community colleges were created to bridge gaps in educational access and provide vocational training. Over time, they expanded to include academic programs and partnerships supported by local economies. This evolution has solidified their position as indispensable to higher education and workforce development. Hill College, MCC, and Weatherford College each exemplify how community colleges have served as drivers of regional growth and accessible education, highlighting their enduring relevance to contemporary society. Next slide, please.
All right, now I'll
On
be
to Ty.
Yes. Now I'll be doing the expert insights. So our first expert was Dr. Johnette McCowan. She is the current president at McLennan Community College. MCC was opened in 1965 by the voters of McLennan County. The goal was to create an institution that would provide an educational opportunity for everyone. Originally, the college was opened on John Connally Air Base, which is the present-day campus for Texas State Technical College. Later, the college moved to the current campus, which is now part of the Cameron Park in Waco, Texas. This land was purchased by the George family. The first president at MCC was Wilbur Mall, which he served for 20 years, and then the second president was Dennis Michaelis, which he served for 20 years. Dr. McCowan says it is important that we do not forget the history of the institution. She also says that her job is to continue to build on the history of the college and to promise to ensure access, success, and completion of the students at MCC. The Scottish heritage of the college is important to know and also to maintain the history and that we don't forget it. Our second expert insight was Dr. Stephen Benson. He is the Paris Junior College president. Paris Junior College was established by the Paris Independent School District on June 16, 1924, in response of the community's needs for institution of higher learning. In 1934, Paris Junior College became a member of the Southern Association of Colleges in the Secondary Schools of Accreditation. In 1937, Paris Junior College District was established by the board. The campus was moved to the present site of 54 acres in 1940, and in 1949, the first Board of Regents was elected and began meeting. The college has been led by 9 presidents over its 100-year history. Dr. Benson says the history of the college is very important because we can learn from lessons in the past, but also there is pride in the alumni, friends, and employees that have to be balanced with the needs to change. Our third interview expert was John Burles. He is the Texas Heritage Museum Executive Director and Chief Curator. Hill College was one of the first junior colleges in Texas in 1923. The college was founded by John G., and the vision recognized the need of Hill County students to access a higher education close to home. Due to World War II, Hill College responded to the changes by offering courses in aviation, drafting, engineering, bookkeeping, secretary work, and vocational training. However, Hillsborough College closed in 1950, but the community safeguarded its vision. Hill College reopened in 1964 as an accredited junior college in Texas to return their charters even while closed. During this time in the 1960s, Hill College began to expand as well. John says understanding the history of Hill College is essential for appreciating their unique roles in education, cultural preservation, and community engagement. Next, off to Lindsay for the best practices.
Okay, best practices. So we analyzed 3 different websites, 3 different colleges' websites for their history, and this is what we found to be best practices. McLennan Community College On its website, we discovered that they were established in 1965 by the people of McLennan County. They were the first junior college to incorporate community in their name, which I think is pretty cool. In 1970, the college had its grand opening on its current campus in Cameron Park in Waco, Texas. The campus is a scenic 275-acre campus adjacent to Cameron Park and the Bosque River. The mascot is the Highlander, which is a Scottish warrior in battle dress, and his name is Mac. And McLennan has about 8,500 students per semester, and we're on track this semester or next semester with registration to meet that as well. Okay, next. Hill College is our next college. It was established to serve Hill County residents by offering general education courses and providing a pathway for students to transfer to four-year institutions. From the 1980s onward, Hill College embraced a dual mission, providing transfer programs for students seeking a four-year degree and offering career training. Hill College has adapted to the evolving educational landscape by incorporating online and hybrid courses, increasing access for students with work and family obligations. Through Hill College's online platforms, including its website, social media, and YouTube, we observe the college's continued adaptation to meet its community needs. And last, we did Weatherford College. Weatherford College was established in 1969 and is considered the oldest continuing public community college west of the Mississippi River. Super cool. From 1889 to 1901, Weatherford College was known as a Methodist college, but then it became a training school. The official name in 1901 was Weatherford College Training School. In 1943, Weatherford College merged with Southwestern University in Georgetown. Weatherford College currently has education centers in Mineral Wells and Granbury, and the new campus between Decatur and Bridgeport, which opened in the fall of 2012. Weatherford College Board of Trustees approved in 2008 the purchase of 30 acres adjacent to the property bought by the Aledo ISD. And in 2019, the college marked its 150th anniversary.
So in conclusion, the history of community college are important because it provides insight into the evolution of higher education. Understanding the history helps us appreciate both social and economic factors that shape their development. Furthermore, the history of community college sheds light on some current challenges they face, such as student success rates and funding. By understanding their past, we are able to better shape the future and ensure community colleges continue to meet the needs of their students and their respective communities. Overall, community colleges have played a crucial role in offering affordable tuition, providing education locally to a diverse group of students. And here are our references. And if you have any questions.
I have a question. So I'm noticing that there are a lot of similarities between technical colleges and community colleges. What would you say is like the biggest difference between those two based on their like history?
I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but just doing research, I would say technical schools are more driven for like workforce programs and like engineering programs. And then community colleges, they're kind of they're like the stepping stone for students to transfer to like four-year institutions. Whereas technical college, you get like your certification, or you might get like a license or something like that. But that's one of the ways I can say that it's like the biggest difference between technical and community colleges.
I would also say that community colleges kind of dip their toe into the technical college realm ever so often. So here in Waco, we have McLennan Community College, and we also have Texas State Technical College. And so the colleges are different in the way that Ty mentioned, as the licenses and the being able to do a job when you're finished, being able to go out into the workforce for technical colleges. But at MCC, we find ourselves doing a lot of remedial and developmental education for our students, as well as a lot of dual credit, which is hard for, I would think, a technical college to do. So we also do those kinds of things too, which are different from a technical college.
And I'll just add that off of what she just said, the biggest difference is the technical schools versus the community colleges usually don't have fine arts departments, science departments, departments like that. And their focus is, the focus of community college is also focused on not just getting the student certificated and degree at that level, but also helping them get the credentials they need and the classes they need to move on to a bachelor's and master's degree program.
I also had a quick question, kind of pertaining to the first one. Uh, I think a lot of community colleges nowadays offer a lot of like trade school programs. And I work at a high school, and I noticed that a lot of seniors aren't aware of those programs or think that community colleges don't offer things like automotive or cosmetology or things like that. How do you think would be the best way to get students informed or to promote those programs? Whether I mean promotional stuff or incorporating it in like high school programs. What do you think would be the best way to promote that and make students aware is my question.
I can go first if y'all want me to. As far as I'm trying to think. I had it in my head and it just fell out.
No, you're fine.
Take it over, Ty.
And I'm just going to just speak on off experience. I think as we kind of mentioned, a lot of community colleges they serve the needs of their community. So I think it's building those partnerships with local high schools. One way is for maybe high school counselors setting up a field trip so that way they can go visit some of the college campuses or vice versa. We have a representative from these different programs or different departments coming and speaking to the high schoolers, informing them of the different not departments, but the different programs that they might have. So I would think one way would be just like an outreach and to just kind of just bridging that relationship between the high schools and the local community colleges.
Okay, I remembered what I was going to say. So I think that it's a really big responsibility for your marketing and communication department to get the word out about the programs to the high schools. I know that the college I work for, it's very important to them to make sure that the high schools are aware of what's going on. And if you have dual credit with those high schools, then you have an entrance into the high schools to talk to those students. So I think that's important too.
I'll just add that I run the automotive program at Hill College in Cleveland. And and I just took over this last year. And the biggest thing that we changed, and this is coming from the perspective of I spent 5 years in the Army as an Army recruiter. And the rule was always you cannot wait for people. If you're trying to recruit for anything, you can't wait for people to come to you. You have to go to where they're at, no matter what you're recruiting for. So the same philosophy we use in the Army is the same philosophy I use for the automotive program at Hill College. Is we have to go out, whether it be in a class, we don't have students on Fridays. So I use those Fridays to go to recruiting events. For example, Texas Motor Speedway has an automotive competition this weekend through North Texas Dealers Association. There's going to be 1,000 high schoolers, 9th through 12th grade, that are going to be at this event competing. That's a perfect opportunity, and that's where we're going to be at, recruiting for our department. So I think the biggest thing that they can do is the department heads need to get out and recruit, have their instructors go with them, have, students go with them, do things of that nature. And I think it helps. And, with our program, we've doubled enrollment just in the last year by getting out in the community and doing that. So.
Well, thank you. You all did a great job of talking about the history of community colleges, and I appreciate all that you all put into this presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.